The persistent knocking at her penthouse door was the last thing Tara Jordan wanted at 3 in the morning, especially on a night when New York City was experiencing its worst summer heatwave in decades. Sweat trickled down her neck as she tightened her silk robe and peered through the peephole. "Miss Jordan, building maintenance, I'm here about your emergency call." Tara swung the door open, relief washing over her face. "Thank God, I've been melting for hours." The man standing in her doorway wasn't what she expected. In place of the usual building staff uniform was a worn T-shirt that stretched across broad shoulders and faded jeans. He carried a battered toolbox in one hand and wiped sweat from his brow with the other. "I'm Ian Adams. Your regular maintenance guy is out sick, and they called me in for emergency service." He shifted the weight of his toolbox. "Sorry for the late hour, but you mentioned it was urgent." Tara gestured for him to enter. "Please come in." "My air conditioning died right as this heat wave peaked, and it's unbearable." She tried not to stare at the man's strong arms as he set down his toolbox. "The thermostat says it's 94 degrees in here." Ian nodded, taking in the sprawling penthouse with its floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Manhattan's glittering skyline. If he was impressed by the obvious luxury, he didn't show it. "Where's your AC unit?" "This way," Tara said, leading him through the expansive living room decorated with modern art pieces worth more than most people's homes. She was acutely aware of her thin silk robe and the stranger following her. "The central unit is through here, Dad." A small voice called from the hallway, causing both adults to turn. A girl of about 7 stood rubbing her eyes, clutching a well-loved stuffed elephant. Her dark hair was tousled from sleep, and she wore mismatched pajamas. "Lily," Ian said, his voice softening immediately. "I thought you were asleep in the truck." "I woke up," she said simply, as children do. "It's hot in there, too." Tara looked between them, surprised. "You brought your daughter on a service call at 3 in the morning," Ian's expression tightened slightly. "Babysitter canceled last minute." It was either bring her or not come at all. He knelt to Lily's level. "Sweetheart, this is Miss Jordan. I'm going to fix her air conditioning and then we can go home." Tara felt a pang of guilt. "She can rest in my guest room while you work. It's cooler in there, I've had a fan running." The relief on Ian's face was evident. "Thank you. That would help a lot." As Tara showed Lily to the guest room, she couldn't help noticing the worn edges of the child's pajamas or how carefully Ian had tucked the elephant under his daughter's arm. "Your elephant is very cute," Tara commented. "His name is Ellie," Lily mumbled sleepily. "Dad says it's not a girl name, but I don't care," Tara smiled. "I think Ellie is a perfect name." Once Lily was settled, Tara returned to find Ian already examining the air conditioning system. He'd removed his T-shirt and hung it over a nearby chair, leaving him in just a tank top that revealed muscular arms marked with the occasional scar, the sign of someone who worked with his hands for a living. "Is it fixable?" Tara asked, trying not to stare. Ian glanced up. "Compressors struggling. In this heat, systems all over the city are failing." He wiped sweat from his brow. "I can get it working tonight, but you'll need a proper replacement soon." "Whatever it costs," Tara said dismissively. "I have an important meeting tomorrow, and I need to look presentable, not like I spent the night in a sauna." Ian's eyes flicked to her briefly, taking in her expensive robe and the diamond studs in her ears. "I'll do my best." As he worked, Tara found herself watching him. His movements were efficient and precise. Despite the heat, there was something mesmerizing about watching someone who clearly knew their craft. "Can I get you some water?" she offered, suddenly feeling awkward standing there while he worked. "That would be great, thanks." In the kitchen, Tara filled 2 glasses with ice water. She paused, looking around at her immaculate chef's kitchen that she rarely used. On impulse, she opened the refrigerator and pulled out ingredients. When she returned with the water, Ian had his head inside the AC unit, muttering to himself. "How's it going?" she asked, setting down his glass. He emerged, wiping his hands on a rag. "Getting there. The system's overworked, but I think I can get it running again. He took a long drink of the water. Thank you. I'm making sandwiches, Tara said suddenly. You should eat something. Ian looked surprised. You don't have to do that. I know, but it's the middle of the night and you're here helping me. It's the least I can do. 20 minutes later, they sat at Tara's kitchen island, eating turkey sandwiches while Ian explained what he'd done to the AC. It should hold for now. The real problem is that your system is undersized for this space. He gestured around the penthouse. Whoever installed it cut corners. With all these windows and the square footage, you need something more powerful. Tara nodded, noticing how his eyes seemed to be deliberately avoiding the obvious signs of wealth around them. Could you install a proper system? Ian hesitated. I could, but I'm just filling in tonight. I'm not actually on staff here. You're not. This surprised her. No, I run my own small business. Building management has my number for emergencies when their regular guys can't make it. He took another bite of his sandwich. This is good, by the way, thank you. It's just a sandwich, Tara said with a small smile. Not exactly gourmet. Still. It's been a long night. He glanced at his watch. I should check on Lily. They found the little girl fast asleep, her elephant clutched tight. Ian's expression softened as he looked at his daughter, and something in Tara's chest tightened at the tenderness in his eyes. She looks comfortable, Tara said quietly. Ian nodded. She is. Thank you for letting her sleep here. He turned to Tara. We should check if the AC is working now. They returned to the living room, and Ian adjusted some settings on the thermostat. Within minutes, cool air began flowing from the vents. You did it, Tara exclaimed, relief washing over her. Ian smiled, and for the first time, Tara noticed how his entire face transformed when he did. Just a temporary fix, but it should get you through the next few days. I'd recommend scheduling a full replacement as soon as possible. Could you do it? The words were out before Tara could consider them. Ian looked surprised. Me? You clearly know what you're doing. I'd rather hire someone I've met than call some random company. I'd have to check my schedule, but I'll pay whatever your rate is, Tara interrupted. Plus extra for the rush. Ian studied her for a moment, and Tara wondered what he saw a spoiled rich woman used to getting her way or something else. I'll need to measure the space properly, but I could probably fit it in next week, he finally said. Perfect. Tara smiled, surprised at how pleased she felt. Let me get your information. As Ian wrote down his contact details, Tara found herself studying him again. His hands were calloused but gentle, his movements precise. There was something about him that intrigued her, a quiet competence that contrasted sharply with the polished but often shallow men she typically encountered in her corporate world. You should probably take your fee for tonight, Tara said, reaching for her purse. Ian waved her off. Building management will bill you. I'm contracted through them for this call. Then at least let me pay you something extra for coming out in the middle of the night. Ian looked uncomfortable. That's not necessary. What about for bringing Lily? That couldn't have been easy. His expression softened at the mention of his daughter. She's used to it. Sometimes you do what you have to do. The simple statement hung in the air between them. For a moment, Tara glimpsed a life very different from her own one, where emergency calls in the middle of the night meant bringing your child along because there were no other options. I understand, she said, though she wasn't sure she did, not really. Thank you again. At the door, Ian paused. I'll email you a quote for the new system tomorrow. And Miss Jordan, Tara, please, he smiled slightly. Tara, you might want to sleep with a fan tonight, just in case. The fix should hold, but with systems this stressed, you never know. I will, she promised. After they left, Tara stood in her cool department, feeling strangely unsettled. She walked to the window, looking down at the street far below. A moment later, she spotted Ian emerging from the building, carrying his sleeping daughter. He placed her carefully in an older model truck, before climbing in himself and driving away. Tara touched the glass, cool now against her fingertips, and wondered about the man who had just left a father who brought his daughter on midnight repair calls. who refused extra payment, and who looked at her penthouse with neither envy nor judgment, just professional assessment. For the first time in a long while, Tara found herself curious about someone else's life. The next morning, Tara woke to the blessed relief of air conditioning and an email from Ian Adams Heating and Cooling with a detailed quote for a new system. The price was reasonable, surprisingly so, given what she was used to paying for services in her building. She replied immediately, approving the work and suggesting the following week. His response came within the hour, professional and direct, confirming he could begin on Tuesday. For days afterward, Tara found herself thinking about Ian and Lily at odd moments. During a board meeting, while discussing quarterly projections for Jordan Technologies, the multi-billion-dollar company her father had founded and she now ran as CEO, she caught herself wondering what Ian would think of the gleaming corporate headquarters or the way everyone deferred to her. Tuesday arrived, and Tara made the unusual decision to work from home. She told herself it was to be available for questions about the installation, but she couldn't deny a flutter of anticipation when her doorbell rang at precisely 9 a.m. Ian stood there in work clothes, his toolbox at his feet and a clipboard in hand. "Good morning, Miss Jordan Tara," he corrected himself. "I brought the equipment and supplies. Should take most of the day." "That's fine, I'm working from home." She stepped aside to let him in. "Where's Lily today?" "School," Ian said with a smile. "Second grade, she only comes along on emergency calls when I have no choice." "She seems like a great kid." "She is." His expression softened. "The best thing in my life." "And her mother?" Tara asked before she could stop herself. Ian's face closed slightly. "Not in the picture. Hasn't been since Lily was 3. "I'm sorry," Tara said, immediately regretting her prying. Ian shrugged. "It's just us and we manage fine." He gestured to the AC system. "Should I get started?" Throughout the day, Tara found it difficult to concentrate on work. She kept finding reasons to check on Ian's progress, bringing him water or coffee, asking questions about the installation. By mid-afternoon, she had learned that he had started his business 5 years ago after working for a larger company, that Lily was excelling at reading but struggling with math, and that they lived in a small apartment in Queens. What she didn't tell him was that she was the CEO of Jordan Technologies, a company valued at over $10 billion. Something held her back, perhaps the way he treated her like a normal person, not someone whose wealth required special handling. When Lily arrived after school, dropped off by a neighbor who watched her until Ian finished work, Tara found herself drawn into a conversation about second-grade drama and the upcoming science fair. "Dad's helping me build a volcano," Lily announced proudly. "It's going to explode real red lava." "Simulated lava," Ian corrected with a smile. "Made from baking soda and vinegar." "That sounds exciting," Tara said. "I did a project on solar energy when I was about your age." Lily's eyes widened. "With real solar panels?" "Something like that," Tara laughed. "My father helped me." As Lily settled at the kitchen counter with homework, Tara found herself sitting beside her, offering help with math problems while Ian finished the installation. The domesticity of the scene struck her how natural it felt to sit here with this child she barely knew, explaining multiplication while her father worked nearby. By evening, the new system was humming efficiently, and Tara's apartment was perfectly cooled. "All set," Ian said, wiping his hands on a rag. "This should serve you much better than the old unit. More efficient, too. You'll probably see your energy bills drop." Tara nodded, suddenly reluctant for them to leave. Would you both like to stay for dinner?" "As a thank you," she added quickly. "I was going to order in." Ian looked surprised, then glanced at Lily, who was already nodding enthusiastically. "Can we, Dad, please?" He hesitated, then smiled. "If you're sure it's not an imposition." "Not at all," Tara assured him. "I'd enjoy the company." They ended up ordering from Tara's favorite Italian restaurant. As they ate pasta and garlic bread at her rarely used dining table, Tara realized she was more relaxed than she had been in months. There was something refreshing about conversations that didn't revolve around market share or product launches. "How did you end up in this line of work?" Tara asked Ian as Lily carefully twirled spaghetti onto her fork. "My dad was in construction," Ian replied. "I grew up learning how things work, how to fix them. After high school, I went into HVAC because it seemed stable. People always need heating and cooling." "Smart business decision," Tara commented. Ian shrugged. "It wasn't really about business at first. I just needed a reliable job." He glanced at Lily. "Especially after this one came along. How about you?" he asked. "What do you do?" Tara hesitated. "I work in technology, my family's business, like computers and stuff," Lily asked. "Something like that," Tara smiled. "A lot of meetings and paperwork mostly." Ian studied her for a moment, and Tara had the distinct impression he knew she wasn't telling the whole truth, but he didn't press. After dinner, Lily convinced them to play a board game Tara had tucked away in a closet, a relic from the rare family gatherings she hosted. By the time they finished, it was past Lily's bedtime. "We should go," Ian said, helping Lily gather her things. "Thank you for dinner and the game." "It was my pleasure," Tara said sincerely. "I don't often have guests who aren't business associates." At the door, Ian paused. "I'll send the final invoice tomorrow." "No rush," Tara said. Then, impulsively, "Would you like to have dinner again sometime? Both of you," she added quickly. Ian looked surprised, then thoughtful. "I'd like that, we both would." After they left, Tara stood in her perfectly cooled apartment, wondering what had possessed her to invite them back. Yet she couldn't deny the warmth she felt had nothing to do with the temperature. The following weekend, they met at a pizza place near Central Park. Afterward, they walked through the park, Lily running ahead to feed the ducks while Tara and Ian followed at a more sedate pace. "She has so much energy," Tara observed. Ian smiled fondly. "Always has. Even as a baby, she was always moving, always curious." "You're a good father," Tara said. "It's obvious how much you care for her. She's my world," Ian said simply. "Everything I do is for her." He glanced at Tara. "What about you? No family of your own?" Tara shook her head. "I was engaged once, a few years ago. He was the CFO at a company we acquired." She paused. "It turned out he was more interested in my company than in me." "His loss," Ian said quietly. Tara looked at him, surprised by the simple statement and the sincerity behind it. "Thank you." Over the next few weeks, they fell into a routine. Dinners at casual restaurants where Lily wouldn't be bored, weekend outings to museums or parks. Tara found herself scheduling meetings around Lily's school hours, making sure she was free when Ian picked her up from her after-school program. "You don't have to change your schedule for us," Ian told her one evening as they walked Lily home from a movie. "I want to," Tara said. "I enjoy spending time with both of you." It was true. In their company, she wasn't Tara Jordan, CEO of a tech empire. She was just Tara, who was terrible at miniature golf but surprisingly good at arcade games, who could name all the dinosaurs because of a childhood obsession, and who found herself laughing more than she had in years. One evening, after Lily had fallen asleep on Tara's couch during a movie night, Ian carried her to the guest room that had somehow become Lily's room over the past month. When he returned, he found Tara on the balcony, looking out at the city lights. "Penny for your thoughts?" he asked, joining her. Tara smiled. "I was just thinking how different my life feels lately." "Good different or bad different?" "Good," she said immediately. "Definitely good." Ian leaned against the railing beside her, close enough that their arms almost touched. "I've been meaning to ask you something." "What's that?" "Why you never told me who you really are." Tara tensed. "What do you mean?" Ian gave her a knowing look. "Tara Jordan, CEO of Jordan Technologies. I Googled you after the second time we had dinner. Your face was on the cover of Business Weekly last year." Tara felt her cheeks warm. "I didn't deliberately hide it, didn't you?" His tone was gentle, not accusatory. She sighed. "Maybe I did. People treat me differently when they know. They want something, or they're intimidated, or they see dollar signs instead of a person." She looked at him. Are you angry? Ian shook his head. No, surprised initially, but it explains the penthouse. He smiled slightly. And why you never blinked at the cost of that new AC system. Does it change things? Tara asked, suddenly worried. Between us, Ian was quiet for a moment. It doesn't change how I feel about you, he finally said, but it does make me wonder what someone like you sees in someone like me. Someone like you? Tara turned to face him fully. You mean someone who's kind, dedicated, hardworking, and an amazing father. Someone who treats me like a person instead of a bank account or a business connection. She took a deep breath. I see a man I've fallen in love with. The words hung in the air between them. Tara hadn't planned to say them, but now that she had, she knew they were true. Ian's expression softened. I've fallen in love with you too, he admitted, but our worlds are so different, Tara. Are they? She stepped closer. We both work hard. We both care about the people in our lives. The rest is just circumstances. Your circumstances include a penthouse and $1 billion company, Ian pointed out. And yours include a daughter who has changed my life, Tara countered. I've never met anyone like you, Ian. Someone so genuine, so grounded. She hesitated. Unless you're concerned about what people would say. About you dating someone like me, Ian laughed softly. I couldn't care less what people say. I'm worried about what it means for you. For your reputation, your business. Let me worry about that, Tara said. She reached for his hand. The only thing that matters to me is how we feel about each other, and how Lily feels. Lily adores you, Ian said, squeezing her hand. Almost as much as I do. When he kissed her, Tara felt as though something long missing had finally clicked into place. The following months brought changes, both expected and surprising. Tara's board members raised eyebrows when she began leaving the office at reasonable hours. Gossip columnists speculated when she was spotted at school festivals and Little League games with a mystery man and his daughter. Ian faced his own adjustments, growing accustomed to the security personnel who discreetly followed Tara, the occasional paparazzi who recognized her, and the realization that his girlfriend could buy his entire apartment building without blinking. Does it ever bother you? Tara asked one night as they lay in bed. The money, the attention. Ian propped himself up on one elbow, looking down at her. Sometimes it's surreal, he admitted. But what bothers me more is when people assume I'm with you because of it, as if I hit some kind of lottery when your AC broke down. Tara traced his jawline with her finger. Didn't we both? 6 months after that first late-night repair call, Tara sat in the audience at Lily's school science fair, watching proudly as the volcano she had helped build, after Ian insisted on a redesign of Tara's overly engineered first attempt, erupted perfectly on cue. The applause for Lily's project was enthusiastic, though Tara suspected the judges might have been influenced by the presence of security personnel and the knowledge that Tara Jordan was in attendance. Did you see, Tara? It worked perfectly. Lily exclaimed afterward, throwing her arms around Tara's waist. It was amazing, Tara assured her. Your dad and I are so proud. Ian watched them with a smile that made Tara's heart flutter. Later, as they walked to the car, Lily skipping ahead with her blue ribbon, he took Tara's hand. Move in with us, she said suddenly. Ian stopped walking. What? Move in with me, both of you. Tara turned to face him. I know my place is far from Lily's school, but we could find somewhere in between or… Yes, Ian interrupted. We could look at other options, Tara blinked. Yes. Ian smiled. Yes, we'll move in with you. Just like that, just like that. He glanced at Lily, then back to Tara. I love you, Lily loves you. We're already spending most nights together anyway. It makes sense. I thought you might be concerned about appearances. Ian shook his head. I stopped caring about what other people think a long time ago. All I care about is what makes us happy. He squeezed her hand. You make us happy. The day Ian and Lily officially moved in, Tara took the day off work, a virtually unprecedented event that made her assistant nearly faint. She helped Lily arrange her new room, complete with a reading nook and a desk for homework. She cleared half her closet for Ian's modest wardrobe and made space in her garage for his tools. That night, after Lily was asleep, they sat on the balcony with glasses of wine, having second thoughts. Tara asked, noticing Ian's pensive expression. He smiled. Not at all, just thinking about how different my life was a year ago. He took her hand. I was just trying to make ends meet, focused entirely on giving Lily a stable life. And now I'm still focused on giving Lily a good life. But I'm also thinking about our future, yours and mine. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small box. I was going to wait, make some grand gesture, but he opened it, revealing a simple but elegant diamond ring. This feels right. Now, here, Tara's breath caught. Ian. I know it's fast, he said quickly. And I know this ring isn't what you're probably used to. It's perfect, Tara interrupted, tears welling in her eyes. Absolutely perfect. Is that a yes? Yes, she whispered. 1,000 times yes. The ring slid onto her finger, a perfect fit. There's something else, Ian said, his voice suddenly nervous. Something I need to tell you, Tara tensed. What is it? I've been taking business classes, online at night after Lily's asleep. He looked almost embarrassed. I want to expand my company. Do things right, create jobs, maybe franchise eventually. He met her eyes. I need you to know that I want to build something of my own, that I'm not looking to ride on your success. Relief flooded through Tara, followed by a wave of affection so strong it nearly overwhelmed her. Ian Adams, that is the least surprising confession I've ever heard, she said, laughing through her tears. You're the most hardworking, ambitious person I know in all the right ways. You're not disappointed. Disappointed, I'm thrilled. And if you ever want advice or connections, I'm here. But I know you'll succeed on your own terms. She kissed him softly. It's one of the many reasons I love you. Their wedding 6 months later was small by society standards, but perfect by theirs. Lily served as flower girl, beaming with pride as she watched her father marry the woman who had become a mother to her in every way that mattered. In the years that followed, Ian's business grew steadily, developing a reputation for quality work and fair prices. Tara continued to lead Jordan Technologies to new heights, though she now made it home for dinner most nights and rarely missed school events. 2 years after their wedding, they welcomed twins, a boy and a girl who had Lily wrapped around their tiny fingers from the moment she first held them. On the 5th anniversary of that late-night AC repair, they returned to Tara's old penthouse, now converted to corporate housing for visiting executives, and stood on the same balcony where they had first confessed their love. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if my AC hadn't broken that night? Tara asked, leaning against Ian's chest as they looked out at the city. Or if the regular maintenance guy hadn't been sick, Ian added. Or if I'd refused to come because I had Lily with me. So many little chances, Tara mused, all leading to this. Ian turned her in his arms, looking into the eyes of the woman who had transformed his life as surely as he had transformed hers. I don't believe it was chance, he said softly. Some things are just meant to be. As they kissed under the stars, Tara knew he was right. From billionaire CEO to midnight repairman, from strangers to family, their love story had begun with a broken air conditioner, but it had been built on something far stronger. The recognition of two souls who, despite all their differences, were perfectly matched in all the ways that truly mattered.